Technology. Isn't it the best? Quarantine yoga, here we come. It's Monday. We got ourselves about an hour here. We're going to breathe a little bit, and then I was thinking that we'll just take the breathing right into the moving. Um, and we'll take it kind of easy. So find yourself a nice, comfortable spot. Sit up nice and tall. Try to do what I say and not what you see me doing, because there's a very good chance I won't be doing any of the things that I'm saying while I'm saying them. But I will try to demo stuff as necessary. So sit up nice and tall. Welcome, by the way. Thanks for coming. I'm Sean. Close your eyes. And just be exactly where you are, exactly how you are, exactly what you are, without changing anything right now. And you're not even like meditating. You haven't even like begun to do anything. All we're doing is not doing everything else. There's a space between doing one thing and then doing another where you stop doing all things. Do that now. All your worries, all your fears, all your dreams, all your goals, all your aspirations, all of your thoughts and feelings about all of the things that could or would negatively or positively happen. None of them are happening right now. Let them go, just for now, and come back to here, come back to now, come back to what's true right now, and start on the inside. You close your eyes, you go inside, you try to find the center of you, the Cadbury cream center of you, with your mind's eye, which is made up of your imagination, which is made up of your inner child. You're going to need that part of you to do these visualizations. Try to find the middle of you and just ask and look and see what's true. Just look around. Look around what's happening around your heart. Is your ankle? How is your knee? Check in with your physical body. What is true? Take a big breath in. See what's true. And if you see bullshit, you breathe that out. Breathe in the idea that right now everything's okay. And breathe out the part of you that tells you you have to do something else right now. On this breath in, you can lift your chin a little bit and bring the center of your heart forward. It's not like a big move. It's just kind of a motion. Breathe in as if your entire lungs are here in your pecs, like on the outside of your ribs, right across your heart. Breathe in as if that's a big balloon. And then as you exhale, you're going to slowly roll your chin down towards your chest. Press your palms into your thighs or your hips a little bit. And then exhale. And send the center of the upper part of your back towards the ceiling or towards the top of the wall behind you. Breathe out. Your belly button can come in a little bit. Stay here for a breath. Now your upper back is the lung. Fill it up. Don't slouch. You're staying long in the upper back, and then breathe out again. Now come back the other way on the inhale. Fill up your heart. Lift your chin. You might even be able to take your head back, but don't strain your neck. Stay. Soften the muscles in your upper back of your neck. Keep your chin up. Keep dropping your shoulders back and down. Exhale. Stay here and fill up your center of your heart space again. And let it out. This time, come back to straight spine, but lift your arms up. On the inhale, you're just going to come back to seated, but your arms are going to come up. You can keep your eyes closed. And then exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. Really slow breaths. Breathe out, your hands come all the way down to your hips and then up in this big like circle. Hands come out and up, breathe in. Keep your neck soft and shoulders down as you breathe out. Bring your hands together, come down. Take your right hand out to the side, long arm fingertips to the floor. Lift your left hand up this time. Breathe in. And this time as you breathe out, you're going to go over to the side, bend your right elbow, and start to think about going up before you go over. It's not a side stretch, it's a lift first. You breathe in, lift your shoulder away from your hip, pull your elbow away from your shoulder, then start taking, exhale, your top fingers over to the side wall. Inhale, both arms up. Hands together, exhale, come down, long breath out. Left hand this time over to the floor, long arm, fingertips down, right hand up to the sky. Be tall before you go over. Exhale to the side. Stay for a breath here. You can flex the small abs, that's your left side. Breathe in to the right side, lift up to the sky on the in, and then over to the side wall on the out. Both arms up, inhale. Hands down to the hips, breathe out. Back to your seated meditation-y type of pose, breathe. Nice. Same thing, we're going to go a little forward and back now. So with your hands down in the center here, you're going to breathe in, really pause there, come back to seated. Take a minute and talk about Ujjayi breath, and not Ujjayi breath, but the idea of vinyasa. I know we're just sitting here, this isn't a very flow class, but it can be. Every breath is linked intimately with every motion in a vinyasa class. So like, you can do this with me, just this long breath in. Just think, if you're going to go slowly, how long it takes your fingertips to get all the way fully outstretched up over your head. It takes a lot longer than so play with this. You're at home, I can't hear you breathing, you're not going to be able to do it wrong or right, doesn't matter. So you're just going to link the breath to movement. Try to make it so you are absolutely full of air at the same time that your fingers reach all the way outstretched up. And then conversely, it's the time it takes for you to come all the way down. When you are as all the way down, you are out of breath. And just notice what happens. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but something happens when your breath and your body dance together. It takes one full breath to lift all the way up. It takes one long exhale to come all the way down. If your body's moving faster, your breath goes faster. Breath goes slower, body goes slower. Let them dance together, which might not necessarily be my speed. All right, cool. Reset. Nice and tall, seated. On the inhale, your hips are straight down, shoulders straight up, spine straight, a lot of straight. On the inhale, hands and heart come up. Breathe in. Long breath out. Take the full exhale to come all the way down. Leave your tailbone on the floor. Don't let it pop off the ground. All the way down. Stay here for a moment. Re-scoot your butt back and down onto the floor, tailbone down. Walk your fingertips forward, let your arms get long and stretched out. And then turn your elbows out to the side, let your heart open a little bit. Breathe into that first balloon in the center of your chest, fill that up with air. And then on the exhale, just let your upper back melt over the rest of your body, down to the floor. Push your tailbone back to get that little scoop in your low back. Breathe into your low back like it's a lung. Now let your upper back and neck and shoulders and head be super heavy on this breath out. think about breath and body dancing together. On this inhale, you're going to come halfway back to seated upwards. So you just kind of scoot up like this. Long spine, collarbone long, shoulders down. Exhale all the way back down. Notice if you're out of air before you reach the floor. Or if you reach the floor and you have a bunch of air left to go. Fill up all the way back to the ceiling, to the top. Rise up. And then back down this time. A couple more without stopping. Exhale all the way to the floor. Keep your tailbone locked down. Halfway back up. Spine straight. You're going to push your tail down. Lift your head up. Exhale to the floor again. Inhale up to the top. Exhale all the way to the floor. Halfway, heart forward, up, shoulders back and down. Fill with air, straight arms. Exhale, full. To the top, all the way. Long breath out. Don't rush it. You're going to twist. Notice if your body wants to go, just long breath out. Now you're twisted. So long arms, fingers into the floor. Put both hips straight down. Lift your shoulders up to the sky. Long spine, head up. On the long breath out, that's when you fire up your biceps, triceps. Turn your heart over to the side. Let your knees be heavy. One more. Fill up. Be straight. Don't twist on the inhales. Fill with air and get long. Use the exhale to get twisty. Inhale, front and center, unravel. All the way up first. Fill. Other side. Don't rush the breath. Don't rush the body. Let them tell each other how fast to go. Two of them. Inhale is for getting long, straight. Ceiling to floor. Exhale is to turn your heart towards the sidewall. Long collarbone. Last one, unravel to the top. Breathe in all the way up. Keep your tailbone locked to the ground. Last one, all the way to the ground. Halfway. Exhale, floor. To the top, rise high. Hands to heart, exhale. Nice. How do I want to do that one? Yep, let's do that. A lot of heart opener. I want to do a heart opener seated. I want to do one standing. Hopefully I won't forget. So first one, you're going to stay right where you are. We'll get some leg action happening in a moment. But there's this great bind for heart opener. You take your hands behind your back and you bring your fingers together like this. But you're trying to like backhand slap the side walls. It's like, wah, wah. But you can't because your fingers are bound. So what that does is that activates the whole top side of your forearm and the outsides of your biceps and triceps as if you're trying to do these guys, these like flies or whatever they are. But at the same time, you're pressing your knuckles towards the floor. They might even touch the floor. When that happens, you start taking them out towards the wall behind you, your fists, and then really engage your upper shoulder blades, your rhomboids, there they are, between your shoulder blades, flex them together, and then that first inhale we took of class, bring your center of your heart forward and up. Breathe in, fill it up with air. Chin can lift up too. On the exhale, find somewhere to soften. This can be like a kind of super scary, traumatic type of pose. There's a lot of like a lack of safety in the body here when you're like got your hands behind you, they're locked together, your chin is up, your head is back, it's hard to breathe, you can't see, it's super terrifying, but you're sitting at home alone in your safe place, I think. So like just kind of let that be. Notice what comes up. Take 3 breaths. Push your hips down and lift your chin up on the ends, heart forward, collarbone open. Soften your shoulders back, soften your neck, drop your head back, hands hands down, hands back on the exhale. 2 more. Notice what comes up. Notice what thoughts, unrelated thoughts, feelings, anxious triggers come up. Just notice. Breathe in. Softly let the whole breath out. Good. Now engage your core. Push your ribs up away from your hips. Breathe in. Get tall. And then you're going to drop. Keep the bind. You're going to fold your face all the way to the floor. Try to keep the bind and start driving your fists up towards the sky behind you and even the wall in front of you. Now you can let your head go. I'm going to press my forehead into the floor to kind of scoot my hips back and down a little. Don't even worry about your hands or what they're doing. Get your base set. Find your hips square, tailbone rolled back and down, chest melted over your legs or ankles. Head down, let your neck go. Let your neck go. And then on the inhale, press everything that's touching the floor into the floor. Knees, butt, face, whatever you got that's touching the floor, press it down. And then open your heart, flex your upper back. Start taking your arms up towards the sky and then towards the wall in front of you. And then take 2 breaths right here. Inhale, where can you get taller? Exhale, where can you get softer? 1 more big breath in. Carefully, without snapping, bend your elbows, bring your hands back to your low back, release the bind, slide your hands around your hips, back to up above your head, forward stretch. Kind of like where we were before. Shake your fingers and arms out. Come up halfway. Shake your head out. Come all the way down. Fold. Exhale. Rise up tall. Hit start. Boom. Shake all that out. Woo. Arms. Woo. I'm sweating. Those are lovely poses you can do without even getting out of bed. Get excited. Okay. Let's come into child's pose and take whatever you might need to stand up and shake your legs out or like let the dog out or whatever. But make your way into a child's pose. And before you get there, like kick your legs out from under you and just shake out the cobwebs. We've been sitting cross-legged for a while. Shake all that out. And then you can do a couple circles too, like this. You just want some juice in the joints, some fluid moving around in your shoulders and elbows, wrists, ankles. And then get nice and comfy in that child's pose. If your knees are far apart, you're going to get a bigger stretch across your inner thighs and hips. If you put your knees closer together, you'll get more bendy in your low back. So whatever part of you is tighter and needs more stretch, more love, and more juju, put your knees accordingly. And every pose, the name of the game is you want to get longer on the inhales. So pretend you're standing. You're not standing. You're down on the floor. You're horizontal. You're in child's pose. But pretend you just flipped that pose 90 degrees and your fingers are towards the ceiling. Right? Think about getting taller, which in this case is front and back of the room. How can you get longer from your butt to your fingertips on the inhales? One part of that is that you have to get wider. Think about this space across your heart, that first balloon we breathed into earlier, that sternum area. Like, how can you make that bigger? Like, can you imagine, like, what muscles would you have to use to push your shoulders farther away from each other? Your elbows farther away from each other. It's not just taking your arms out to the side, it's getting bigger across your torso. It's taking the 2 sidemost ribs and pushing them away from each other. So you do that by, like, turning your elbows out a little bit, soften it across your collarbones, send a big breath across your chest, let it open up, and then on the exhale, that's where you soften. You invite your heart down towards the earth. You let your head and neck out of the way because you don't need them right now. A little pressure in your hands, you can activate the arms to press your hips back and tailbone down to the floor. Breathe into your whole upper back. And then you're trying to scoot your heart and torso longer, wider, flatter, melting it down to the floor. Melting is a really good visual word for yoga. Like almost every pose, there's this part of the pose that's trying to melt down to the floor. So it's not just that it becomes soft and relaxes. What happens when something melts? It loses its shape, it becomes more pliable, and then gravity takes it down to the floor and then spreads it out almost infinitely. If milk and water didn't evaporate, it would just continuously spread out evenly thinner and flatter forever and ever and ever. That's what you're trying to do in every pose, especially child's pose is a very melty pose. Okay, come up to tabletop, breathe in. Shake a leg out again. Do. Did you know you can do just a warm up for like an hour? This is the best. We'll do a couple standing poses. So tabletop, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Go with your breath. Remember that vinyasa flow. Your breath and your body dictate the speed, not necessarily the rest of the class nor the teacher. So on the inhale, chin and tail come up. Keep shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, press down. Like try not to scoot forward, back, or left or right. You're curling your back up towards the ceiling, chin tucks, tail to the floor. The time it takes to fill up with air is exactly how long it takes to get all the way to the top. And the time to empty is the time it takes to go down to the ground. 2 more, in and up. Out and down. Awesome. Curl your toes under your heels. Pop your knees up off the floor. Give them a little shake like you're doing the little running man or the phantom bike. This reminds me of gym class. And then downward facing dog. And wherever you just ended up in your down dog, you might have to kick some stuff around, get some things out of the way. Dog might be going crazy now, but whatever you're doing, move it around, like sashay your hips side to side, like if you, as you press one heel straight down, straighten that leg, bend the other knee into your chest and kind of rock it side to side, especially the outer half of your hamstrings. That's where I'm tighter. Most people are tighter on the outside. So as you press your heels down, notice as you press your heels down in the center, you might feel it more on the outside. So like try to slowly get into that. You can shift your weight into one heel as you drop a heel, lift that hip up, bend one knee into your chest, back and forth. Lots of words, you get what I'm saying. Awesome. And then make it more still, make it more like statuesque, less movement. And then it's easy to lift your hips higher by just like pressing into your legs, but there's so much in your shoulders. I want you to bring all of your awareness and your attention to your shoulders. And even if you can, right there in down dog, give yourself a couple like shoulder rolls. Like just notice how much space there is in there. Just kind of, actually that's really hard to do. But press. Feel from your fingers all the way down to the base of your palms, pressing down and forward into the mat. And get the top of your hips closer to the ceiling, not with your legs, but with your upper body. Like, how do you get your elbows further away from your wrists? Your wrists further away from your shoulders. Each rib further away from the next rib. You're just reaching, finding length anywhere that it is, and then on the exhales, you're melting hips down to the floor, melting the back of your neck because you do not need your head in down dog. Melting. Action from heels, hips, quads, knees, tailbone, lifting, actively getting longer on the inhales, melting on the exhales. One more. Up, tail, heels, head, down. Lift your right leg high, 3-legged dog. Boom! Bend that top knee. Stack, turn your right hip over the left hip. Watch your bottom leg. Don't let your bottom knee twist. If it's bending, it can be bent, but if it's twisting, Be very careful. You want your hip, knee, and ankle right in a line down there in the bottom leg. It doesn't really matter what the top leg's doing. It's up there, but it's not going to hurt you. Bottom leg can hurt you if it's twisting, so don't twist the bottom knee. Top knee is bent. It's just coming up, 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 up towards the sky, and then your top foot, it's just kind of helping you pull yourself open as your right side gets a little big old stretch there. Now we're waking up. Kick your right foot up in the air again, three-legged dog, straight up, and then kick it out to the side. Boom! Like the hip of somebody next to you in a real class. Kick them, kick them, kick them. Boom! And then kick that foot underneath you. Kick the right foot of the person to your left in a real class. Kick them, boom! Kick their foot out from under them. And then lift your heart up to the sky, big old rock star. And if you want, you can bend your knees and kind of, my teacher says booty tap. You just go boom, and you can come up. Get a little like weirdo home calisthenic Pilates in there if you want. You can add push-ups to all the chaturangas, all that stuff. It's fun. Left hand down, right leg, kick it up. Come back to three-legged dog. Up, 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 up. And then warrior one. Boom, it steps forward. Back heel drops. And you stand up. Upper body is in warrior one. Right? Heart is flush with the floor, front of the room. Man, camera thing, it's terrible. Right hip is coming back. Boom. Left hip's coming forward. Think about child's pose. On the inhales, you're just getting taller and longer up to the sky. On the exhales, where can you melt? Melting in your shoulders, melting deeper in your front knee. On the inhales, you fire up the back leg, ribs lift up away from your hips. Exhales, you're getting deeper, softer in the neck. Whew. One more big breath in. Exhale, we'll go warrior two, open that up. Boom. So your hips are open in here. You should feel a distinct difference of the hips opening in warrior two versus warrior one. Boom. They're pressing towards the wall you're in front of your chest. You're looking over your front middle finger. We'll do a couple little flows here. Think about the breath. Think about linking them together. No rush. Inhale all the way to the top. You're going to reverse your warrior. Whoop. Hello. Exhale, you're going to come side angle. Elbow comes to the inside of the knee. Turn hard open. And then reach from your bottom foot all the way up to your top fingers. Top side stretch. Big top side. Think about the top of you. Deeper front knee. Empty the breath. Use your core. Reverse. Come up. Wide angle fold. You're going to come down. Ooh, turn your ankles, boom, toes towards the front of the room, let your head go, hips high, shoulders head low, shake it out. You can come up halfway, lift, arms can dangle or go out to the side, exhale, fold, rise, you're going to come all the way up. If a back bend feels good and safe, you can get your hips in front of your shoulders, you can come back, exhale, fold. Halfway. And then a couple track stars, back and forth. And then come to back to downward facing dog. If this was a normal class, we'd be facing the opposite direction, but you're by yourself. You can face whatever direction you want, but you're going to come back to downward facing dog. Move it around. And also take a drink. Okie doke. Same exact thing. Other side. Downward facing dog. Get centered. Right? So, and there's this thing that happens. Notice your brain. Your brain knows the next 3 or 4 poses coming. They're not a surprise anymore. So like, notice how much of brain power you're giving to a pose that's not happening right now because you know the next one that's coming. Stop that. Come back to what's true, what's happening right now. Down dog is what's happening right now. No matter how much inside info and spoiler alerts you have about the next 2, 3 poses, right now, still down dog. Do you ever get this feeling in life that the same lesson just shows itself to you over and over and over again with different faces and different details, but same lesson over and over? That's what happens. Same lesson comes back until you learn it. So you got to be in what's true right now. Right now, it's not the next pose, it's down dog. You're like, I hate down dog now. All right, left leg high, three-legged dog. Lift it up. Check in with your everything touching the floor. So your hands pressing down and forward. Shoulders are even. Now bend your top knee. Start to turn it open. Stack it. Left hip goes on top of the right. Don't worry about the top leg. Think about the bottom leg. Can you get your bottom heel closer to the floor? Maybe it even touches. Can you get your bottom knee straighter? No twisty. Your leg is straight, strong. Bottom thigh fired up big time. Now take the top knee a little higher. Point it towards the ceiling. And then feel the left side stretch as you just kind of exhale. Lean back into that. It's a twist. It's a twist. Keep your shoulders square. Now kick your top foot up again. Three-legged dog all the way up. And then kick it out to the side like you're just going to bop over the GoPro. Bam! Just kick it. Side kick. Both legs are straight. One's parallel to the floor way out here. Take a breath in. And then rock star. You're going to kick that leg underneath you straight out to the right side. And then turn your hips and heart open to the sky. Rock star. Take your right hand up. Do whatever funny, fancy stuff you want to do there. You can do a couple of these. We're not going to do many back bridges or any today, so you can do a couple booty taps, arm circle, whatever you need. Let your head lay back, open your heart, and then spin back to three-legged dog. Hand plants. Left foot kicks back and up. Exhale, step, downward dog. Warrior one, sorry. You know it. Ha! Boom, boom. On the inhale, you stand. Ask your back leg if it's doing as much work as your front leg. And get it in the game. Back leg is easily forgotten in many poses. So start there. Back foot. Is the whole back foot touching the floor? Is there a little extra pressure on the pinky toe side of your back foot? Your back knee, your back quad, get it engaged. Heart is fast forward to the front of the room. Your side body from your pinky toes to your pinky fingers are coming up, 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 reaching high, high, high. On the exhale, you're softening your neck, your spine, your shoulders, your legs down. The legs are strong, but they're getting deeper. Inhale is for up and straight. Exhale is to melt and get deeper. Another breath in. Warrior two, open it up. So your arms go wah like a ninja. Your knees come a little wider. Now you're looking over front knees at 90 degrees. You can see your toes right over it. Back leg straight, straight. Check out your back leg. Your feet make like a T. Doo-doo. Hips and heart forward. Make sure your spine is nice and straight. So you gotta look down. If you have a seam on your pants and it's right over your nose, your spine is straight. But if you're whoop, just notice that. You might need to knock it back. All right, here we go. One more little flow. Reach up, reverse. Feel the front side get long, so pull the shoulder up, and then side angle elbow comes to the knee, and then don't think about putting your arm up to the ceiling. Think about getting long, top side stretch. Everything that's up, make it longer. So from that foot down, this hand up, heart open, deeper front knee, engage your core, empty breath, reverse, come up. Woo, all the way down. Wide angle fold again, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise high. Guess what? I feel like doing a handstand, headstand. I haven't done one in a long time. If you want, you can, guess what? You have 3 minutes to do whatever you want. You can listen to what I'm saying. If you want to do a headstand, for the love of God, don't hurt yourself. No one signed a waiver. No one is obligated to do a handstand. But if you're like, oh, cool, check it out. So I do a tripod. I like to do a tripod, and I like to start from a wide angle fold or just from knees down. The key is it's called a tripod because there's 3 points. There is your head and then your hands, right? So the common mistake is someone will put their head right in line. So it goes wrist, head, wrist. And then you have no center of gravity. Everything's folded in on itself. You fall over. So you want this strong tripod base, just like Mr. GoPro over here. So what you do, and if you already have, you're probably already up and going on your forearms or whatever. But what you want to do is you get your head down so that there is a triangle. Now I have hand, hand, head equidistant from each other. And all it is lifting your hips up and straightening your spine, walking feet forward so that the hips get over the shoulders. Once my hips get over my shoulders and I start pressing my hands down, it gets to the point where like I don't even need both feet on the floor. You start to use your core. You can also place a knee up on triceps like so. Don't collapse into your neck, keep it long. And then it's all about the core. You don't even need to put both hands up, both feet up in the air at the same time. Just play around with the weight. Get your hips up, spine straight, walk your feet towards your face, put a knee on your elbow, put another knee on your elbow. Switch back and forth, play with it. And then when you're ready, you take one or both feet up into the air, but you have to evenly press both wrists and your head into the floor. Don't put a lot of pressure on your head. Keep your hips over your shoulders. Once your hips are over your shoulders and your core is engaged, you can kind of do whatever you want with your feet. Play with that. Do it up against the wall, do it with a partner, do it with a friend. Bonus points if you can come back down into crow. Hoo-ah! Hoo-ah! Bam. Okay. Nice and easy, come back down wherever you are. Shake it out. Let your equilibrium come back. Awesome. Come on to your belly. Take a little rest. Maybe you look to the side. Maybe close your eyes. Maybe your arms are out wide. Big ol' 5-star. Shut everything off. Do full melt. Full melt for a couple breaths. Especially all the muscles that were just in a lot of fear. Just like let the whole upper back press onto your ribs. Your torso gets a little smaller. Your lower back, sacral spine, let all the tension go. Upper neck, fingers, toes. Take 2 huge slow breaths in.
Sean, are you taping something?
I am.
Okay.
Awesome. Let's do that little bind we did earlier. Fists, wrap your hands together. Bind your fingertips together and bring them behind you. Rest them on your low back. And then you want to get your legs straight back behind you, toes pointing to the back wall. Scoot them back. You want your hip bones to be as close to the earth as possible. Whew. And then as you start to, again, you're trying to backhand slap the sidewalls. So as you take your bind together, try to rip your arms apart, but they don't happen. So you fire up the outside of your shoulders and forearms. And then on the inhale, you're going to breathe into that balloon in your sternum, that first inhale we took as you lift your chin up. This is the same pose we did in the beginning of class. It's just rotated 90 degrees. On the breath in, you're going to take your chin, front of your neck, center of your chest, forward to the front of the house. Shoulders come back and down. Start pressing your fists and fingers towards the back wall and then lift them up. Everything comes up on the inhale. Lift your feet off the floor. Get longer, press your arms longer, legs longer. On the inhale, come up again. Chin lifts, heart lifts. Harder to breathe, certainly harder to talk about it. Breathing in to come up. Soften your face. On the breath out, shoulders, relax them down. Even though your arms are doing crazy stuff, the bind is hurting. It's coming forward up. Breathe in. Find some softness on the breath out. Last one, inhale. Lift, lift, lift. Relax, come down. Exhale. Come onto your back. So, on your back. Let's twist. We'll twist after. So, when you're on your back, you're going to bring one knee, bring your right knee into your chest. It's right over. And keep it straight. No, don't twist like out. Keep the ankle right in line with your knee and your hip. Wrap, pull it in, and then take your left leg, point it straight out, 1 inch off the floor, point your toes, and just give a big left side stretch from your left shoulder to your left toes longer. Breathe in, and then really use your arms to squeeze your right knee into your chest on the breath out. Let your shoulders drop to the floor, hips are heavy. Switch, left knee into chest. Long, long right leg. Fire it up, reach it long. Shoulders roll back and down. Breathe in. Squeeze as you breathe out, knee into your chest. Happy baby. Throw your soles up in the sky. Grab onto the insides of your feet. Keep your knee right over, your heels stay right over your knee. So they're a pillar. Wherever my knees go, my heels go. So you want to take them both wide as you can. Shins straight up to the ceiling. Flat footprint on the ceiling. Grab your feet, bend your elbows out to the side. You want to take everything wide and then down to the floor. But you want to melt. Feel how your butt wants to roll up in the air like that. You want to press the back of your head into the mat and pull, roll your low back flat on the floor. Kick your feet into your hands. Press, pull your knees down to the floor. Breathe. Knees to chest. Wrap them up. Give yourself a big hug. And if you're not sure, just pretend. Humor me for a moment. Pretend you're hugging somebody. That's awesome. Somebody really cool who you admire, who you want to see do well, and you want to help. Because this person helped you. Because this person is all you got. Hug this body. Hug this body like it's a body you give a shit about. Thanks, self. Okie doke. Woo, unravel. Come back to down dog. We're gonna go pigeon, pigeon, breathing out. So if you have lovely, fun pigeon songs that you like, maybe you want to throw in some music. I'm music free today. So go to down dog. You know what? We're going to do 2 sun salutations before we do down dog. We didn't even stand. So we come down dog. Shake out your legs, kick them, your head. Then come to a high plank. Boom. Hips are nice and low, right in line with your shoulders and ankles. And then elbows stay in. Don't let your shoulders go below your elbows. You can drop your knees if you need to on the breath out. So take a breath in, fill. And then lower or roll down, low push-up. Exhale, chaturanga. And then tops of your feet down, hard up, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 2 breaths. One is to kind of rinse out. Then the other one, we're going to go. So take a big breath in. Look forward, bend your knees. Exhale, step or jump to the front of the mat. Bam! Half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold down. Rise up tall all the way. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Engage your core. Breath out. Hands plant. Step or jump your feet back to a high plank. Exhale, low push up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Lift your right leg high. Bend it, stack it, open it. Kick it up high again. 3-legged dog. Exhale, land it in pigeon. If you have warm, soft, fuzzy things to put under your right hip, do that if it feels like it's gonna fall or it's fearful. You can Stay right up here and work the king pigeon, long spine, shoulders back and down. You can come down to forearms, hang out there, or you can melt your heart all the way to the floor. Upper body basically just child's poses right over your legs. Let your breath allow the dust to settle. Right now your body's like a snow globe. We just kind of like shook it up a little bit and then all of a sudden just put it back on the shelf, and now the snow is just kind of falling. Just observe that. Observe the every little electrical impulse in your body being on high alert to coming down to, oh, okay. Where in your physical body can you soften? Scan your body from your head to your toe, from your fingers to your feet. What muscles in this physical reality can I soften right now? Because I don't need them. Another way to word that is, where am I holding on to something that doesn't serve me? Because at some point soon, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, you will run out of muscles to soften. And you'll start to notice that you're holding on to other things that are not just muscles. Or you're holding on to a muscle that's doing way more than just physical tension. Where am I holding on to something that no longer serves me? Where am I using my energy? Where am I expending parts of myself? Where am I giving away my attention to something that no longer serves me, or something that doesn't even exist? That argument that ended years ago that you still play out in your head. Every single coulda, woulda, shoulda. Guess what? They don't exist. Notice where in your physical body, your emotional body, your soul body, where you're holding on, physically or otherwise, holding on to an idea, a relationship, a belief that is not real. It's not real. Anything that comes after the word would, should, or could is a Fantasyland Disney movie that doesn't exist and only exists in your head. Start to come out. Nice and easy, back to straight arms. Your heart comes up. You unravel, untwist, unknot yourself back into a down dog with any standing, lifting, shaking you have to do to get all the cobwebs out. Come back to down dog. Move it around. Left leg high. Bring it up. Bend it, stack it, open it. One last big old stretch. Bottom heel comes down. Shoulders square. Top knee up. Big left side stretch. Inhale back to square. Hips. Toes high. Three-legged dog. Nice and easy. Land it. Just try to create it in the air. It's fun. Nice back down to pigeon. You want your hips square. Same place as your shoulders. Back leg, you want it as far back behind you as it'll go. If your knee doesn't like to be on the floor, neither does mine. Put a pad under it. I like to pad up my back knee, pad up the left hip, and then start to come down. Nice and easy, there's no rush. So there's nowhere to be. soften. Right? Because one of the yoga woo woo phrases is like, we're all connected, we're all one. Um, Everything is connected. All those things, and it is easy to throw those things around. It is another thing to like practice as if that those things are true. If they are true, if you're gonna just humor me for a moment, that mind, body, and soul actually are connected, then that means that it is impossible to make any change to any of them without affecting the entire system. This is like this Charlotte's Web string theory of the universe, right? Yoga teachers and scientists will tell you that. You making any change to anything changes everything. So every muscle in your body, every cell in your body just might be connected and affected by every thought, every conversation, every lie, every deceit, every judgment, everything you've ever seen, everything you've ever said, everything that's ever been said or done to you. What if that's the case? Just play with that as you try to soften the muscles in the back of your neck. And just play with me for a moment, for 10 more breaths, for 2 more minutes. How is your physical body connected to something that might not be physical? Because if you try to soften your entire body, if you try to soften every muscle in your entire body, starting at the center of the back of your neck, you'll quickly notice that you can't. In order to soften the center of the back of your neck, you have to soften your whole neck. In order to do that, you have to soften your shoulders. In order to do that, you have to soften your fingertips for some reason. In order to do that, you have to soften your face for some reason. And then it just keeps going and going and going. Notice that. And see if that thread, that cookie crumb trail, leads you somewhere that's not physical at all. Like, what happens when you get to that muscle that can't soften, won't soften? Until you forgive somebody or forgive yourself, or like have to make this phone call or write that letter or quit that job or leave that person or profess your love to that person. Like, oh, it's a magical day when you come across a muscle that's like, yeah, sure, I'll soften, but you have to live your life first. You have to keep your promises first. You have to stop lying first. This is a very magical moment when your muscles, your biceps and triceps and rhomboids and metacarpals and metatarpals talk to you and say something along the lines of, yeah, physical body all great, exercise wonderful, but you need to handle your shit. It's a magical day when your body says that. Or maybe that's just me. Take a big breath in. My grandmother's like, what are you doing? And a long breath out. Start coming up and out, nice and easy. Make your way to your back. Shake out whatever you need. You might need to do a full vinyasa on the way. Like, stand up, sit down, look left, look right. Make your way to the end. The end. Set up your little shop for the end. I ran my mouth a lot during those pigeons, so I'm going to actually shut up during Shavasana. So you can, again, put on music if you're like that. I'm just going to be quiet and listen to the wind chimes that are right outside the room I'm in, and birds chirping and whatnot. And we'll call this 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes, one nice good pop song or an acoustic version, lullaby version of something horribly inappropriate That's my favorite. Whatever you like, make it happen. And then lay out. Close your eyes. Take a big breath in. Let it out. Sigh it out your mouth like. Maybe nobody's around. Maybe you can actually make some sound and not be embarrassed and actually be beneficial. Take a big breath in. Let it out your mouth. Sigh it out. Make some sound. Maybe even growl on this one. This feel good. I have people now, so I don't care. Take a big breath in. Shake it out. Then stillness. Corpse pose. I highly recommend you look into the Tibetan Book of the Dead. I'm not going to get into all my opinions on how we view the dead in this civilization. There are other ways to look at death than this just terrible thing that you must run from all the time. Practice for it now. What a weird world we live in. Obviously, you have no idea what's going on from moment to moment, and it has always been like that, and it probably always will. Absolute madness and chaos, but not right here, not right now, not inside of your little bubble that you lay in right now. Right now, in that bubble, nothing is happening. There's no good, there's no bad, there's no right, there's no wrong, there's not even you. Practice. Practice the idea of nothing, because it's coming for all of us. Nothing is where we came from. Nothing is where we're going. And this something that we're laying in right now makes no sense. Pretend. You don't have to make sense of it. Pretend that's not your job. Right now, pretend nothing. Shavasana. breath get deeper. Breathe into the lungs in your fingers and your toes. Wake them up, move them around. Wiggle your nose. Look up, look down. Take a big breath in. Let it out. One of those. Let it go. Curl up small in a ball on your side in a fetal position, just for a couple breaths. I don't even know if you don't do it. Real small, real tiny. Seed pose, fetal, has a bunch of names. Everyone starts in this pose. Everybody. 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 So next time you want to slap somebody in the face, just remember when they were in here. What were they like when they were in this pose? Maybe the only time they were ever in that pose was when they were inside their mama. Next time you feel like you deserve to be called names and blah 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 blah, you were in that pose too once, and you're in it right now, and maybe you deserved forgiveness then, and you deserve forgiveness now, and maybe we're all the damn same. Boom, come back to seated. Wherever you're at, put your hands to your heart or something. Sit nice and tall, close your eyes. Come back to like what's true right now in your body, and in your mind, and in your soul. What's true right now? Go from there. When you go inside, you stay out of woulda, coulda, shoulda. Inside is what's true. Ask your heart what's happening right now. And go from there. And I'm going to ohm, you can ohm, rock and roll. Here we go. Ohm time. Ready? Take a big breath in. Hands together, thumbs up if you're into that sort of thing. Thanks, gang. Much appreciated. Happy Monday morning. Glad you came. The music in me is totally just winging it with the music in you. Namaste, rock stars. Bam. Thanks for hanging out. We'll be back on Wednesday morning at 8 o'clock a.m. And I might post this on YouTube and Facebook from another angle because I had the GoPro over here. If you want to come back to it, otherwise be my friend on the internet. I love that you come to this crazy thing where I bounce around on my grandmother's floor. It's fun. Thanks so much, gang. I'm out. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm going fishing. Boop, 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 boop. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Bye, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Boink. And